Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today because we're going to explore a really fascinating and honestly super critical intersection between public health and cybersecurity. We're looking at the massive, rapid modernization of rural healthcare, but we're going to examine it through a lens you might not expect. Today, we're unpacking the hidden digital costs of these incredible medical advantages. I want you to keep this one provocative question in the back of your mind as we go through this explainer together. Could the very technology that is actively saving rural healthcare also be its absolute biggest threat? It's a heavy thought, right? I mean, we're bringing life-saving care to the most remote areas, but in doing so, we might actually be planting the seeds of a dangerous hidden cost. Let's get into it.
Part 1. The Rural Care Tech Boom, Pushing Care to the Edge.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just look at how sprawling and highly distributed the modern rural care ecosystem has become. States are aggressively deploying new tech to push healthcare out of that traditional central hospital building and bring it right to the physical edge of their communities. At the center, sure, you still have your critical access hospital. That's your hub. But think about all those pathways extending outward now. You've got EMS treat-in-place units, mobile clinics driving right into local neighborhoods, school-based health centers, and remote patient monitoring sitting literally inside people's homes. All of these external points are constantly chatting back to the center through electronic health records and telemetry. It's this beautiful, complex web of accessible care. Part 2, expanding the attack surface, the dark side of access. But here is the terrifying reality. When we push care out to the edge like this, the attack surface expands exponentially. Every single new digital access point we just talked about, whether it's an unmanaged remote patient monitor, an open-edge Wi-Fi network at a mobile clinic, or even just a third-party telehealth tablet, acts as a potential ingress point for ransomware. By building all these amazing new doors into the healthcare system to help people, we've essentially created an unmanaged digital Trojan horse for attackers to exploit. Part 3. The high cost of breaches, the financial and regulatory fallout. $50 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Under HIPAA regulations, just the interception of patient health information during a wireless transmission is considered a breach. It doesn't even matter if the attacker gets into the central server or not. The fines can range from $100,000 to $50,000 per individual violation. So if you're looking at a large-scale interception campaign affecting thousands of rural patients, those penalties can easily north of $50 million. It's staggering. And honestly, the damage isn't just regulatory. It is hugely reputational. Patient trust is an absolutely critical asset. Studies are showing that 60% of consumers would actually consider switching healthcare providers following a breach announcement. 60%. In rural areas, losing that level of patient trust can completely devastate a community hospital's foundation. And then, of course, you've got the direct operational costs. Just notifying the affected patients. We're talking the legal fees, the physical mailings, the credit monitoring. That all averages out to about $250 per individual. And wait, that doesn't even factor in cyber insurance. Healthcare organizations are already getting slammed with year-over-year increases of 50 to 100% in their insurance premiums. One major breach can render a rural hospital completely uninsurable. Game over. So, what does this all mean strategically? Well, these security blind spots create massive executive liability, for sure. But even worse, they prevent hospitals from safely adopting the very innovations they literally need to survive. The fear of a breach actively blocks brilliant programs like remote patient monitoring and hospital at home, which, let's face it, are completely essential for modern reimbursement models. It's a total catch-22. Part 4. How Hub and Spoke Falls, a step-by-step progression. Now, what's really interesting about this vulnerability model is the fatal flaw in traditional cybersecurity. You simply cannot install traditional endpoint security agents on a pacemaker, or a mobile clinic iPad, or a connected ambulance. It's impossible. They are inherently unmanaged devices. And the attackers, they know this. So when that unmanaged edge is compromised, your entire hub is suddenly at risk. Okay, let's walk through exactly how this happens. Step 1 is ingress. An unmanaged remote patient monitor gets compromised right inside a patient's living room. Step 2 is lateral movement. Because that specific device is already trusted by the network, the threat just breezes right past the VPN tunnel and moves laterally into the central hospital network. And finally, Step 3, system-wide encryption. The threat reaches the central hub and boom, it locks down mission-critical electronic health records and diagnostic systems across the entire county. Just like that, everything stops. Part 5. Agentless defense in milliseconds. So, global cybersecurity spend is topping $300 billion this year, right? And yet, these breaches keep making headlines. Why? Because attackers live in the gaps. They live in the spaces between devices and networks. Traditional perimeter tools, like your standard firewalls or XDR, they usually only alert you after an exploit has already happened. You're left chasing alarms for minutes, sometimes hours. But GuardDog AI takes this completely different, really innovative AI approach. They use agentless container sensors that sit right inside the network, everywhere traffic flows. They fingerprint devices and detect Layer 2 and Layer 3 attacks in the literal milliseconds. To put this into perspective, think about a classic demonstration putting a Kali Linux attacker machine up against a Windows target. With traditional tools, that attack slips right through. But with GuardDog's sensor active, the very moment that attack launches, GuardDog automatically isolates the attacker, peer-to-peer, instantly. There's no network-wide impact. There are no clunky port shutdowns that could stop vital hospital operations. It just seamlessly integrates with the existing stack to stop that lateral movement cold. We're talking milliseconds to detect and seconds to contain. It is a total game changer. Which brings us to this final lingering thought. You cannot fund technological innovation without funding its defense. It is a stark, necessary reminder for healthcare leaders everywhere. Building the future of rural care is absolutely essential, but protecting it? That's non-negotiable. I really hope this explainer sparked your curiosity to dive deeper and maybe even see this kind of agentless defense in action. But I'll leave you with this. Are we going to let these amazing, life-saving advancements become our greatest vulnerability? Or will we finally step up and defend the edge? Thanks so much for joining us.